Hello everyone, my name is Sereda and I'm going to present how is COVID-19 changing the event industry and what are the future predictions for TMGT4020. Events and festivals are integral parts of the tourism industry as well as everyone's lives. People need to socialize to live happily and fulfilling. The events industry size was valued at $1,100 billion in 2018 and is expected to reach $2,330 billion by 2026. But 2020 year changed everyone's lives and the whole industry. COVID-19 spread dramatically quickly throughout the whole world and cut off people's interactions. Some of the businesses were shut forever, while others adjusted their policies and techniques for a new reality. There are many predictabilities for the future of the events industry. Some people believe that the event industry will be prospering as all the events which couldn't be done due to the virus will be happening in post-pandemic time, while other people predict that the event industry has changed forever. Huge gatherings will be conducted more cautiously, while some businesses will be moved to online services forever. Therefore, the goal of my research is to discover how COVID-19 has affected the events industry and what are the future predictions for the industry are. COVID-19 pandemic has many similarities with the past disasters such as Ebola, MERS, SARS-CoV-1 diseases and natural disasters such as recent Australian fires, the triple disaster of meltdown, earthquake and tsunami in Japan in 2011, or terrorist attacks in Bali in 2002 and 2005. Therefore, the base for my research is composed of studies about past disasters and catastrophes which dramatically affected tourism and the event industry particularly. The main purpose of my research is to observe how the event industry was affected by COVID-19 and what were the responses of event businesses. What challenges the virus brought and were there some opportunities for adaptation and quick recovery? Also, I believe that with every past disaster and challenge, people and whole industries can learn and prevent a similar situation in the future. In my research, I'm looking into surveys of how businesses predict future operations of event industry and what they learned from the challenge of quarantine and pandemic. Therefore, similar researchers are very important as they give an overview of the situation and help to find ways to overcome existing challenges, be prepared for them, as well as prevent similar situations in the future. I conducted a secondary research where I observed articles and surveys related to post-disaster recovery and event industry recovery from COVID-19. After the examination of both quantitative and qualitative data, I had a clear picture showing the recovery of event businesses from the pandemic, as well as the predicted future adaptation for the whole industry. Observation of real-life COVID-19 effect, as well as surveys from businesses, helped me to highlight lessons from this crisis, which industry can use to be prepared for similar situations, as well as prevent them in the future. Overall, my questionnaire items consist of further questions. What are the links between past nature disaster recovery and COVID-19 recovery? How COVID-19 affected the events industry? How events industry changed due to COVID-19? What are the future predictions for the event industry? All these questions were created specifically for this research in order to observe the COVID-19 case and its impact on the event industry. Further, I will discuss key findings about the past disaster recovery and COVID-19 recovery. The first one is Australian fires. The Australian fires cost the Australian tourism and event industry $4.5 billion. Poor air quality and overall safety concerns stopped most of the people to travel to Australia, as well as gather for the events. The news of the crisis spread dramatically quickly throughout the internet, and the tourism and events industry stopped most of their business activities. Now when the fires are eliminated, the picture of a destination is still affected. Tourism and event businesses were given help from the government in fund of $15 million advertising campaign, as well as developing other recovery strategies, helping to change dramatized image. The second one is Japan triple disaster in 2011. Horrible disaster in Japan in 2011 dramatically affected the tourism and event industry. Tsunami, earthquakes, and meltdown hit these industries and cut the number of tourists and number of events happening in the country. Many international music tours and festivals were postponed or cancelled due to the crisis, while people were dramatized and were not participating in events. The revenue decreased and businesses needed to adjust for the drop of clients. Japan needed 5 years to fully recover from these disasters. Some small businesses which did not have good risk management strategies or backup plan were closed forever. The other example of the importance of good risk management is shown by Gertner in his research. The destination of Bali was dramatically affected by several terrorist attacks and suffered from a substantial reduction in tourism numbers and related revenue. This experience had a significant effect on the change in risk management in many tourism organizations in Bali. Because of the terrorist attacks, many events and tourism businesses lost their customers. Gertner also pointed out that businesses with a strategic recovery plan, which closes for more than 5 days, will close forever, while organizations that were prepared for such a crisis could survive by adjusting or using a backup plan. As with previous examples, COVID-19 brought a dramatic crisis to the events industry. Many businesses were shut forever, while some adjusted for a new reality. As with the case of Australian fires, the government played an active role in supporting small businesses and funding the events industry financially by using funds and lowering taxes. Also, according to PCMA Convene, many businesses survived, and most of those businesses had an effective risk management strategies. Survived businesses are quickly adapting by improving their safety policies and ways of running a business. But how exactly COVID-19 affected the events industry? During the pandemic, tourism and events industries were suffered from the COVID-19 and quarantine the most compared to other industries. Many unprepared businesses couldn't survive this crisis. Due to the cancellation of events worldwide, there was a loss of $666 million in April 2020 throughout the world, while having 85.9 million jobs at stake. Major international events were postponed, while the global events were dropped to around 2/3 of the normal level. Overall, the events industry suffered a dramatic shock and significant loss in income and business operations. One of the main changes and adaptations was the consideration to integrate online events or to completely move towards virtual platforms. The popular virtual platforms formats among events organization will be live stream speakers, usage of webinar format, live chats, and interactive features. Overall, most of the events organizers are having an intention to change the way they're running the business due to COVID-19. Not only event organizations and the whole event industry has changed, but consumers' behavior as well. More and more people are given preferences towards virtual events and festivals due to their convenience and safety. Moreover, most of the participants of different surveys believe that the digital format of events will continue working successfully after COVID-19. So, what are the predictions of the events industry after COVID-19? Will it prosper from all the postponed events, or will it be changed forever due to the fear of the reiteration of the pandemic? Most of the articles and researches state that the industry will recover after the coronavirus, but it won't be the same. Most people will only attend valuable for them events, while many events will incorporate virtual components, allowing those who cannot attend to still join. New technologies for visual events will be introduced and adopted by businesses. Also, one important change will happen in reviewing the contracts by event organizers. Due to the high risk of postponing and cancellation of events, event planners will take more time to consider if they want to sign the contract and organize the event. One more aspect is the increase in hybrid events, where the live events will be mixed with digital ones. Another important modification is the change in culture and people's mindset. The feeling towards attending live events will be changed in the majority of people due to the terrible experience of the pandemic. Therefore, event businesses will need to rethink their marketing and communication strategies to adjust to this new culture and ensure safety. Moreover, it is predicted that the scale of most of the events will be reduced, while most of the businesses' conferences will be conducted online. Thank you so much for your attention and have a good day.